Imagine you suddenly fall ill or you get injured and you need medical attention, right? Or surgery. Even with health insurance, there can be other medical costs that you didn't anticipate and would have to pay for. An emergency fund can cover these unexpected medical expenses only if you had one in place. The question now is, do you have one in place, or is your game plan, God forbid? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gloria. I am totally obsessed with planning and organizing, so consider me your go-to person if you need help with creating a stable monthly budget that allows you to save for your goals without breaking a sweat. Today, we'll be discussing emergency funds, what it means, why it's absolutely important to have one, and the steps you can take to set up one for yourself and your family. So, what's an emergency fund? An emergency fund is a cash reserve that you set aside for unexpected expenses or financial emergencies. Some common examples of emergency expenses include car repairs, home repairs. For example, let's say your kitchen sink pipe needs fixing, it's broken. It could be medical bills not covered by your HMO, or a loss of income, like we all say, God forbid. Yes, nobody prays or hopes to lose their job or source of income, but life happens. And the smart thing to do is to make plans for unexpected circumstances. Having an emergency fund can help you avoid going into debt when these unexpected expenses arise. It can also give you peace of mind knowing that you have a financial cushion to fall back on if something goes wrong. Even if the money you have saved up for emergencies doesn't entirely cover all the expenses, it would be great, right, to know that okay, you have something to start with. There are a few reasons that an emergency fund is important. First is that it can help you avoid going into debt. When you have an emergency fund, you don't have to take loans or use credit cards to pay for unexpected expenses. This way, instead of spending your money paying interest charges, you can save it toward your other money goals. Second, an emergency fund can give you peace of mind. Knowing that you have a financial cushion to fall back on can help you sleep better at night. It can also help you avoid making rash financial decisions when you are under stress. You won't crash into the money that, for instance, you saved up for rent or to pay fees because an emergency happened, right? Because if you do that, your rent being due for payment in the next few months or weeks could become another emergency, and the circle will keep going. Number three, an emergency fund can help you protect your financial future. If, let's say, you have to use loans or credit cards to pay for unexpected expenses, you will keep paying interest on that debt for a long time, and this can eat into your savings and make it harder for you to reach your financial goals. You get me? So the amount of money that you should have in your emergency fund depends on your individual circumstances. However, a good rule of thumb is to have 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved up. This will give you enough money to cover your essential living expenses. If, God forbid, you lose your job or you have, let's say, a major unexpected expense to take care of, what I recommend to my clients is, if you can't afford to save 3 to 6 months of living expenses, set aside a ballpark figure, for example, 500k as your emergency fund goal. If you're aiming to save, let's say, 30k monthly, that means in a period of 1 year and about 4 months, you would have reached your savings goal of that 500k. Once you have reached that goal, you can continue to add your emergency fund, add to it until you reach an amount that can conveniently cover 6 months of your living expenses. To create an emergency fund account, designate one of your bank accounts or open a regular savings account specifically for your emergency funds. Don't mix it. If possible, keep the money in an interest earning account that is easily accessible in times of need and is also safe, so you don't risk losing your money. Your emergency fund should only be used for unexpected expenses. This means that you shouldn't use it to pay for everyday expenses like your groceries or outfit shopping. Please don't. So what do you do when you have an emergency to sort out? If you have an unexpected expense to pay for, right, to take care of, take some time to assess the situation and be sure that it is truly an emergency. If it is, then you can use your emergency fund to pay for it. Once you've used your emergency fund to pay for an expense, make sure to replenish it as soon as possible. This will help you to stay on track and ensure you have a financial cushion all the time to fall back on for the next emergency. Building an emergency fund can be challenging, especially when your monthly income is hardly able to cover your normal basic needs, but it is definitely doable. Let me share a few tips to help you get started. Number one, start small. If you can't afford to save a lot of money each month, start by setting aside a small amount, such as maybe 5k, 10k. Once you get into the habit of saving regularly, you can gradually increase the amount that you save for each month. Number two, automate your savings. One of the best ways to build an emergency fund is to automate your savings. This means setting up a direct deposit from your regular or salary account into your emergency fund account. This way, you won't even have to think about it. The money would just, move on the set day. Number three, cut back on unnecessary expenses. If you are struggling to save money, take a look at your monthly budget and see where you can cut back on unnecessary expenses. This could mean eating out less, canceling unused subscription, or finding cheaper ways to get around. So guys, an emergency fund is an essential part of your financial plan. It can help you avoid going into debt. It will give you peace of mind and also protect your financial future. If you don't have an emergency fund today, start building one now. It's one of the best things you can do for your financial health because it will help you absorb financial shocks. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you learned something useful from this video, like it and share it with your friends and family members who need to hear this. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments below and I will answer them. Also, remember to subscribe to my channel for more money tips. Bye.